There was a whole lot of talent on display during the 2023 NBA Summer League.
Slider. Oh my God! No, he did not!
We got to witness the start of many future All-Stars' careers, and there were many fantastic performances to back that
Turns
sentiment.
it over. Heat on the run. 3-on-3. Hawkins with the hammer. And the foul.
Now that the Summer League is over, I think it's safe to say that this year's Summer League was absolutely insane. Let's start out by talking about the #1 overall draft pick, Victor Wembanyama. Everyone knew that Wembanyama's debut would be the most anticipated event in the Summer League, and the stadium was packed for it. That debut didn't go incredibly well, though he certainly showed flashes of his potential. By the end of that first matchup, he had 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 blocks. The problem was that he shot just 2 of 13 from the field, including 5 missed three-pointers. On top of that, he had 3 turnovers and 4 fouls. Clearly, there was work to be done. But the kid is just 19 years old, and he likely had nerves with that many eyes on him. That's exactly why he came out a few days later and showed the San Antonio Spurs exactly what he can do on the floor. He dropped 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks while knocking down 9 of his 14 shots from the field in their second game. It was a vast improvement from his initial game, and he showed the world that he is going to be the next big thing in the NBA. We didn't get to see much more of him after that, as the Spurs wanted to remain cautious and shut him down until the season. Still, he made an impact. 2 other players that made an impact quickly were Scoot Henderson and Amen Thomas. Henderson and the Portland Trail Blazers took on the Houston Rockets with Amen Thomas during their first Summer League game. Henderson started out incredibly hot and had 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists in just 21 minutes of game time. The downside was that he exited that game with a shoulder injury and was out for the remainder of the Summer League. It was disappointing, but Portland knew they had something special with the way he was creating offense at will. As for Thompson, he had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 4 blocks in 28 minutes. His night ended early as well after suffering an ankle injury. Thompson, like Scoot, was held out for the rest of the Summer League also. It was unfortunate that neither got to play longer, but they stuffed the stat sheet in under 30 minutes of game time, giving the fans and coaches all the confidence in the world that they didn't need to be rushed back. Don't worry though, it wasn't just the lottery draft picks that were performing well on the big stage. We got arguably the best Summer League performance of them all from 25th overall selection Marcus Sasser. In his last Summer League game, Sasser went out and dropped 40 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal, and a block in under 30 minutes of action. It was the most points scored in the Summer League in Las Vegas this year, and trailed only one person for the most points scored all summer if you include the California Classic. The only performance that was better, if you stretch that far back, was Keegan Murray's 41 points. Sasser must have had a wonderful pep talk in the locker room because 31 of his points were scored in the second half alone. He was able to hit 16 of his 25 shots from the field, including going 5 for 9 from three-point range. It's not every day that you get to see a 40-point outburst in such limited court time during the Summer League. Sasser wanted to give his fans a show before his run came to an end. Next, let's talk about Chet Holgrem. He's a guy that has completely fallen under the radar with the hype surrounding Wembanyama. However, Holgrem is a lanky prospect of his own and is technically still a rookie considering he missed all of his rookie campaign with an injury. This is his first real action in quite some time, and he delivered in the Summer League. In the first 3 games, he averaged 14.2 points and 10 rebounds. He was blocking shots left and right, making hustle plays for the ball and dishing out passes when they needed to be. After he played a few games, it was clear that he was finding his rhythm back on the floor. He competed against the Indiana Pacers and helped his Thunder pull away with a double-digit victory. He dropped 25 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 blocks on that night. Holgrem also looked visibly stronger than when we last saw him, reportedly muscling up to 208 pounds since his injury. This was a big step up in weight for him, about 13 pounds. Some might have forgotten what he could do during this lengthy rehabbing period, so he wanted to give people a wake-up call for anyone who might have fallen asleep. Cam Whitmore was on a mission in the Summer League as well. Many were so confused why he fell all the way to 20th overall pick in the draft. Some analysts had him being ranked as the 8th best prospect, yet teams didn't feel the same. Allegedly, he had poor workouts and interviews in the pre-draft process. Still, this man went out and proved that he could ball on the court like no other. He was crowned the Summer League MVP for his work out there. He averaged 19.2 points on 44.7% shooting from the field. The 6'7" forward also averaged 2.5 steals on the defensive end to show that he can play at a high level on both ends, rather than just focusing on scoring. Houston seems to have a wealth of scoring talent, and eventually they will start to figure out how to work their rotation in the best way possible. The last name that we have to talk about regarding big showings is Keyonte George. George played 6 games for the Utah Jazz and finished averaging 18.6 points per game. He was shooting 45.7% from the field and 38.6% from three-point land. George displayed a unique ability to move around the court with and without the ball. He was performing well as a spot-up shooter and also found ways to work to the basket and create efficient shots for himself. To make it even better, he operated as a facilitator sometimes as well. He averaged 5.3 assists per game and was consistently finding the open man on the backcourt cuts and open threes. Utah might not have anticipated such an impact early on from their rookie, but George is proving that he could be deserving of a roster spot and a place in the rotation early on. Similar to watching our content, great performances by young players make us want to see more. If you're enjoying this Summer League recap, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Moving on. All of the names that I mentioned will be massive contributors to their respective teams in the next decade or so. These are the guys that can be classified as the next generation of ball players, with their own expectations to live up to. Wembanyama is looking to be the next great Spurs big man after guys like David Robinson and Tim Duncan. Speaking of, Duncan and a few other Spurs legends have already been coaching Wembanyama in their spare time. If they can instill all of the knowledge that they've accumulated in their multi-championship careers, then he could quickly transform into the generational player that we all think he is going to be. If he isn't, then the Spurs might have a very tough time climbing out of the gutter again in this Western Conference. Then you look over to Scoot Henderson. Some felt like Portland might trade this draft pick to help keep Damian Lillard around, but they wanted to at least get some solid youth to jumpstart a rebuild after Dame. Lillard then requested a trade, which opened the door for Scoot to instantly become the team's leader on and off the court. His vision, shot creativity, and explosiveness can help Portland remain competitive in the coming years alongside Shaedon Sharpe. Another name we covered was Amen Thompson, the brother of another lottery pick, Ausar Thompson. Amen didn't play much in the Summer League, though he didn't need to. The Rockets know that they have someone special and have plans to utilize him in their lineup that is full of random talent. Eventually, it's expected that Houston will figure out how to use these guys best, and Amen will play a large role in the franchise's turnaround alongside guys like Jalen Green or Alperen Şengün. The same goes for the Oklahoma City Thunder and Chet Holmgren. Granted, they are in a much better spot than Houston, but they also have a significant amount of young talent to work with to create a championship roster. They were already super competitive behind the work of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in 2022. The addition of Chet Holmgren could make them playoff contenders straight away, given his paint presence and rim protection. The Thunder need him to be effective to fill the one position that they seem to be lacking talent in, center. Then finally, we get to George. The Jazz are in the middle of a rebuild. Well, at least somewhat of a rebuild. They have a mix of veterans and younger talent and had some potential flashes in 2022 before a disappointing end of the year. Regardless, George could speed up their rebuilding process if he could be a shot creator, spot-up shooter, and facilitator in this offense. Who knows, maybe he could be the future replacement for the longtime scorer Jordan Clarkson in this offense. Of course, that might be jumping the gun a little bit there. The bottom line is that each of these players has their own roles to play in their respective teams, and it's exciting to think about their futures already. Which of these aforementioned players will be the most impactful to their teams both this year and in the future? Let us know what you think in the comments below. But before we let this video come to an end, we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't cover the Summer League winners, the Cleveland Cavaliers. At times, you had to stop and wonder if Evan Mobley really needed to play in the Summer League for them to win the tournament. Then, after a closer look, you realize that it's not Evan Mobley, but rather his twin brother Isaiah Mobley. Isaiah looks incredibly similar to his brother and has a similar play style and just dominated the competition when they needed him the most. In the Summer League Championship game, he dropped 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists to win the championship game MVP award at the end of it. The performance helped him boost his averages to 17.8 points per game on 49% shooting from the floor and 8.3 rebounds a night to go along with it. Mobley attacked the rim with ease and used his size to protect the rim, see the floor, and get comfortable in the post. Of course, Isaiah didn't do this on his own. Sam Merrill dropped over 25 points of his own in the finale to help himself get named to the All-Summer League first team. Imani Bates flashed his insane potential as well. It's a shock that he fell into Cleveland's lap after such a phenomenal high school career, though some college issues dropped his stock a bit. Despite that, Bates showed up big time in the Summer League and helped the team go undefeated throughout the entire event. They didn't just beat the Houston Rockets to win the Summer League championship either. They obliterated them, beating them by 22 points. If you want to talk about another team with an insanely bright future, look no further than the Cavaliers. That's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed the video and thank you for watching. If you enjoy this kind of NBA content, be sure to like, subscribe, and click to watch this next video.